standing, and the next thing she landed me a big slap on my face. I mean, I was pregnant. Yes, I can't do this. Like, I can't do this. I want to sew their clothes and they start converting to naira. Come on, I'll go to Fabric Land. I'll get the material from Fabric Land, and they're like, well, just coming from Nigeria, why will you charge us 80 pounds? If I make like 10 applications today, before the next morning, I'm getting 10 rejection mails. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your own girl Bukola Temi Nikan Bukola. To my subscribers, thank you for coming back, and to the new ones, you're welcome. I know you've seen the title and you're like, how is that possible? Yes, it's possible. I'm with a very beautiful sister of mine. She's very lovely, and I was like, Taiwo, you need to be here. You need to tell us about this. This is the person that actually gingered me to pursue something in my field. I introduce herself. So, who is Taiwo? Hello, everyone. Let me sound like Bukola. Hello, everyone. Yeah, it's so good to be here. My name is Taiwo. Taiwo Adekola. First of all, I'm a child of God. I'm a mom of 2 adorable kids. I'm married to an handsome man, a very good man. And professionally, I work as a trade compliance analyst. Trying to think what else you want me to add. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
that's big enough. That's big enough. So, going into the topic fully, like, how did you actually transition from fashion to tech? How? People say it's not possible, but can you just give us a background story? How did it happen? Like, how?
Okay, I think I would just take it back to 2021 November when we came into the UK. There was COVID and all of that. I was pregnant with my son. I had no direction whatsoever. I think my husband had the vision for us to come into the UK. So when we got in here, I was pregnant and all of that. I think I started out with care. I remember the first shift I went for. I'm that kind of person, I get really scared. And when I went for the shift, there's this particular lady there. She had this attitude. I was just standing, and the next thing, she landed me a big slap on my face. I mean, I was pregnant. Yes. Like, I was crying, and everybody was like, oh, it's okay. And they were talking to her and all of that. But there was something inside of me, and I'm like, I can't do this. Like, I can't do this. How will I do this? So that made me really scared. And you also see some other attitudes, like they attack you. Probably you're trying to make food, you're trying to do something. They just come from nowhere and they attack you, especially the ones with all of this attitude. I go back home and I told my husband, I was like, I don't think I can do this. And when you talk to a lot of people, they're like, oh no, that's what you would do and all of that. But I was telling my husband, I said, I'm not going to do this care. I don't enjoy it. I tell you, if I don't have a shift, I'm going for a shift. I'm already scared the night before. Like, you see me shaking, and my husband will be like, what is the problem? You'll be fine. And I'm like, no, I won't be fine, because I can't stay in the same room with the service user. I'm always looking at my back. Is anyone coming to attack me? So I knew that wasn't going to be a long-term thing for me.
Was it mental home?
It's not a mental home, it's a support home.
Oh, okay.
It's just the normal support home. So probably she was, according to them, said she was angry or she needed something, and I wasn't attending to her so quickly. So she slapped me. And I've gotten another one where just entering into the room, we're like two, and she grabbed her hair. Like, she grabbed my hair and she grabbed the other lady's hair. It took time for them to take her hands off. Yeah. And I was pregnant, so that's why coming into the UK. So I think those were the things that formed my decision. And I was like, no, there's no way I'm going to do this for a long time. And yeah, we do have homes that are quite okay as well. I'm just talking about this particular home. And I get most of my shifts from that home. So I'm like, oh, I can't do this for a long time. Meaning I'll be going home with bruises or something. I can't do this. And, coming into the UK, they'll tell you, oh, if you're handy, if you're skilled, you're going to get a lot of people. A lot of people will come around. You make money. I'm not saying it's a lie, but all of these things takes time. And because I'm new in the country, people might want to sew their clothes and they start converting to naira. Come on, I'll go to Fabric Land. I'll get the material from Fabric Land, and they're like, well, just coming from Nigeria, why will you charge us 80 pounds? Why will you charge 100 pounds? So there are times that made dresses for people, and nothing was coming out of it. There was no profit. So I was like, do I think fashion is sustainable? And it doesn't come often. You see people, when they come, it's more or less like they're doing you a favor. And by the
Mm.
time you go to fabric land, because I wasn't so used to the calculations then, so when I go to fabric land, I spend all the money that I've been paid. So it's like I'm
Wow.
doing a free job. Yes. It's like I'm doing a
Wow.
free job. So I
And the
said,
time. The
and the
time you put into
time,
that.
electricity, and all of that. So I knew I was like, this fashion thing, yes, because I love fashion. It could be a side thing for me, but I need uh the main thing, the
To sustain
major,
you.
so to say.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes, something to sustain me, yes, over time. So I spoke to my sister, she's been here for a while, and I was like, she's a business analyst. And I told her that I really want to transition, that I really don't want to do this, that I believe I can do tech. I can go into tech. Myself and my husband, we all laughed about it there. That you that you don't even know how to use some app on your phone. I'm that bad. I'm that terrible. I was that terrible. Yes. I didn't know how to use some
Serious.
app. They were like, oh, will it not be a challenge and all of that? But because I was open to this, I knew I
Mm.
wanted something new. I wasn't going to settle for care. Some people actually came and they were like, oh, why not do nursing? And all of that.
Mm.
I was like, I don't think I'm big on the healthcare thing. I'm not, I don't like seeing blood and all of that. So I knew that was not a path for me. That was not the path I wanted to follow. So I talked to my brother-in-law at the time. He had a company, Glusev. Then he was like, oh, we're going to start from the scratch. So funny. He said, we're going to teach you how to open the computer. Like, because, yes, that is that bad. Like, said, I'll teach you how to open the computer. Just
Wow.
assume, yeah, assume you know
Mm.
nothing. Because if you
Mm.
feel you do know something, you wouldn't
Mm.
listen. You
Mm.
wouldn't be calm enough to learn because you feel like, oh, I
That's
know all of
true.
this. Can we move
Mm.
on? So just see yourself as an illiterate. Let's start from the scratch. I did this course with some other people as well. So we started from, I think I did a course for about 3 months. It taught Excel, SQL, Power BI,
Tableau.
PowerPoint, and we went in depth, Tableau and the likes. Yes, we did some of those courses, and when it was time, we actually worked on my CV and all of that. When it was time for job hunting, we started.
Wow.
I if he said, okay, you should apply for minimum of 10 jobs in a day, minimum. So I was
Wow.
so diligent because I told myself that, oh, I think I can crack this, I can do this. When it comes to interview, I know I'm good, I can talk and all of that, that I'm going to know this will be quite easy. So I was really expectant. I kept applying. If I make like 10 applications today, before the next morning, I'm getting 10 rejection mails.
Rejection.
Yes, like they all come back with rejection. And I'm like, I told my husband, you see that these people don't even look at the mail or something, they don't look at the
Mm.
CV. Is it automated or something? But I wasn't discouraged. Yes, there were times that I wouldn't apply for a week because I got tired. But I knew I was
Mm.
going back to it. I just needed a break. I needed to give myself some form of break. So I was like, I'm going to do this. I remember when I got my first interview, I was really excited. I was like, wow, finally. We did the first phase of the interview. They came back that, okay, congratulations. So you're going on to the second phase, assessment and all of that. So when I did the second phase, they came back and they were like, oh, unfortunately, I was like, God, is this
Wow.
possible? I remember one of the lady that we did the training together, she told me, she was like, Taiwo, this wouldn't work. I think you should just look for another pathway. This wouldn't
Are
work.
you
We've been on
serious?
this for like, yes. She
Why
actually
did you,
just
why did she say so?
because
Why
she
do you
was
think?
tired. That's what I want to say to people. The unfortunate male is part of the process. Just take it
Seriously.
as part of the process. That's what most people don't know. It just keep going because if you
It
don't
got to a
apply,
time.
nobody will call you. Sorry.
Yeah. It got to a time when I was getting unfortunate
Okay.
mail. My husband was the one deleting those mail. Immediately he comes in, he
Yes.
sees it first because he used to see my mail. So immediately he sees them, he delete them before I even see them. Because he knows that anytime I see them, I
It
get
will get to
discouraged.
you. Yeah. It
It
does
gets to
get to
me.
you.
So I
Mhm.
understand what you're saying about unfortunate mail.
Yes. And she was like, she's not going through with this anymore. She's actually a supply teacher. So she was like, oh, I
Wow.
think she's fine and all of that. She does care on the side as well that she's fine. I mean, she was telling me, oh, care is not bad. Probably the experience I had was with the home. There are various homes and all of that. I was like, he that is in me is greater than he that is in the world. I can do better. I mean, I don't like this. I don't need to settle. Yes, it might
Mm.
take time. There is a process, which I believe everything takes time with the process and all of that. But I really want to see this through. So I kept on going, even with the unfortunate and all of that. I remember when I was at work, I got to work very early. That was about 9.
You
I've
were
done an
still working.
interview.
You were still doing
Yeah, I'm
your
still
normal.
working.
Okay.
Yes, going about my normal. Yeah, I paused after I gave birth, so I went back
Okay.
because I just didn't want to sit down at home and we need to pay the bills. We pay monthly,
Yeah.
so yeah, I need to
Yeah.
support my husband because he's a
And your
student and
husband
all
was
of
a
that.
student. Your
You
husband
can
was a
imagine I'm
student.
the dependent. Yes, he is. He was rather. He was a
Wait,
student then.
wait,
Yeah,
please. Sorry, I'm cutting you short. I want to just
that's why.
let's print it out well. You came in as a
Okay.
dependent. You were
Yes.
pregnant.
Yes.
You did the training while pregnant.
We're pregnant. Yes, that's it.
Then you continue applying till you got to have you had your baby, and still
Yes.
continue applying even after the
Continued.
baby.
Yes. I wasn't going
Continue.
to give
This
up.
one,
I knew I
I'm
wasn't going to
getting
give up. I just didn't want to settle. I didn't want to
okay.
settle. So, and I don't have a master's, just to put it out there. So when I see a lot of people, you go to
God
work, I
bless
see a
you.
lot of people with certifications and they're like, oh, I've worked
As
here. And you talk
in,
to them and the mentality is really annoying. And they'll be like, oh, don't
mm,
stress yourself. I mean, we care, they pay very well and all of that. And I'm like, is it really about the money? Are you happy doing what you're doing?
are you
Like,
happy? That is it.
are you happy? Do you find contentment with this? I don't even like the job, so I can't settle. But I think the analogy I had then was if I don't keep applying, nobody will call me. If I stop, that's
Mm,
it. But at least if I keep
mm,
applying, someday I'm sure I'm going to
mm,
get something must surely come true. And again, the interview process for me was more or less like a learning curve because I've never had to go through any form of interview process after school and all of that. I went straight into fashion. So I've never gone through this process. So it is new for me. So I just took it like, okay, this is a learning curve. I'm learning. If I actually record my interviews, so I go back to it and listen to what I've said, actually analyze, okay, how did I answer this question? Oh, I think I should have answered it this way. Just in case that same question is coming out or it's been paraphrased in another interview. I'll know well on how to do justice to the questions. I was discouraged. I'm not even going to lie. I was really discouraged. That was why I said there are times that I leave the old job on thing for like a week. I just relax. I'll be like, oh, let me just leave it. But later I just come back to it. I get encouraged again and I bounce back to it like, no, I'm not leaving this.
Any application can you say before you got your first job? Like how many can you count? Like or say a range of
Not really, but I can say I've done close to 500 if I'm correct because I do
close to
10.
500.
Yes, I do 10 like every day. I apply to 10 job roles every day. Every time, let me not say every day, every time I'm applying, yes. So I do like 10 each day. So this is rolling over months. So you can imagine it's close to 500, I guess. Yes.
So that 500, like how many did you have interviews? Were there up to
Four,
50?
not
Four.
up to four. Yes, four. So you can imagine the number of mails
Oh
I've
my
gotten.
God.
Unfortunately, in this
Oh
part
my
of the
God.
process, embrace it.
The way unfortunate men used to eat people,
Yeah.
it will make you feel like you don't know what you're doing. It's to make you feel
Mhm.
like you're not good.
You're not good enough.
You're
Yes.
not good enough.
You're not good enough for the
Like
role. Yeah.
it's not even possible. Now imagine somebody
Mhm.
coming from an angle, from your own angle, that didn't study here, that didn't have a master's
Yeah.
here. Your chances
Mm-hmm.
were even looking very, very, very slim.
Mm-hmm. True.
But we should not always think about those things that limit us. I'm happy you mentioned the God factor. Like you
Yeah.
know who you
Mm-hmm.
are, you know you are from, you know you are a child of God. There's something about
Mm-hmm.
grace and God's factor that one is it's not by the side, it's the first one. Then we'll put other
True.
one by the side. For interview,
From the
after
whole
like
500
500, that one is thick.
applications.
It's a very
Yeah.
thick one.
Yeah, but I
So
kept going.
what was that driving force? I know you yourself, you told yourself you would do it.
I
Apart
was
from
going to
that,
do
do you
it,
have
yes.
something else that was getting you going? I know you were also working by the
Yes.
side. You were also
Yes,
still
yes, I
doing the
was.
support by the side. Is there any other thing that was actually giving you that ginger that, or was your husband also working in that analyst field already?
No, no, no. It was in care. So for me, I think the people I surrounded myself with, like I said, my other sister has been here for years, and seeing herself and her husband, what you're doing, the kind of job they do. We just wake up and wear our clothes and we go to work, and you come back, you see them with their laptop, and we know how much they earn.
Hmm.
Like that is encouraging enough. We know how much they earn, and I know I want to do this. They're not stressed. They don't pay for childcare. Their children are here with them. they do their job, they got remote job. I think that was where the remote thing started. And I was like, God, I was specific. I was like, God, if I'll be getting this job, I want a remote job. Because
Mm,
I was seeing how much my elder sister was enjoying it. And again, the community, the church community, you see a lot of people that they've been here for a while. Although some people are still doing care because that is what they want. But you also talk to some other people and you just draw inspiration from them. And their
mm,
stories are really inspiring. And you're like, if this person can do it, there's no reason
I can
why
do
I
it.
shouldn't be able to do it. Yes, I can do it as well. So when you put yourself in an environment, in a positive environment, I can do environment.
You
Yes, yes.
actually got your first job after 4 interviews.
Yeah, that's for interviews.
So how did you feel like getting the first job?
Um,
What was the
I remember,
experience of the first one?
I remember I went to work that day. Like I said, I never liked the job. So when I got into the office and I got the call, and you were like, "Oh, congratulations, you've gotten the job," and all of that, Bukola, I didn't work. I just picked my bag. I went to meet the manager, and I was like, "Oh, call my agency to cancel my shift."
Are you
That was what I did.
serious?
That was how much I hated the job. So they were like, "No, you can't just cancel your shift." I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'll call my agency now. I need to go home." Like I wasn't even thinking about the fact that this might actually take like a month for me to start the job, with the whole paperwork and all of that. But in my head, I'm like, I'm done. I'm going home. It's 9 a.m. I'm here. I'm going home. That was
Are you
how
serious?
excited I was. So I called my agency. I was like, "Oh, can I get a replacement? I can't do the shift and all of that." And she was like, "Oh, no problems. Hope you're fine." I said, "Absolutely, I'm great." And she was like, "Oh, that's fine. She's going to get a replacement." I know when I got home and I told my husband, I was like, "Was that why you canceled your shift?" I was like, "You don't even understand what we're talking about." So I
Excitement.
was I was really excited. I was excited, and a lot of people in church, at work, they knew I kept saying it that I won't be here for long, I won't be here for long. I remember a particular lady walking up to me and was like, "Taiwo, you have faith." Like, when you see all of these things that you
Faith
want
is
to get a
strong. Mm,
professional job, that she does Imo. I don't know what Imo is in Yoruba.
mm, yeah.
That she just like, you're not going to get it. Do you think it's that
Mm,
easy? You don't even have a
mm,
master's. What qualifications do you have?
mm,
You don't have professional certifications. How easy do you think that will come to you? Even we that we have masters, we're not even
mm,
shouting we want professional job. And I was really excited. I was so, so, so happy getting that job. So I told myself I was going to put my all into this job. Like I said, it's the first. It's the first. If there's a first, definitely there's a second job. It's the same
mhm,
process. So when I settled in, I don't know if I should go into this. When I settled in into the job, I understood that this is the same process. The same process I use in getting the first job, I can get the second job with the same process.
mm,
So I
mm,
kept on with that faith for the second process. And my husband was like, "Oh, you're not even looking for a job yet. It's fine." And all of that. I was like, "No, I'm just testing the waters. Let me see what the
mm,
market, let me see if this procedure is going to work. The same procedure I used for the first one of being
mm.
consistency. Is it going to work?" And I
So
tried
you
it,
were
believe
you
you
were
me.
still applying again.
Yes,
Like,
yes, yes.
which experience were you using? Like the
Funny
experience
enough,
that you've not really gotten well,
that's the
or which
thing.
one?
That's the thing. After I finished, when I got the job, so I went in for a business analysis training.
Okay. The
I had
training you
data
did
analysis,
earlier was data
was
analyst.
data, well, yeah, basically
Okay,
data,
okay.
yes. So I was like, I wanted more. When I got into the job, I was enjoying it so much, and I believe that okay, I need more skills. I need to know more. And in order for me to get a new job or move on to the next stage, definitely I need to know more. I told you earlier that my sister was a business analyst, so I wanted like the soft part of tech. Data is like too techy. If you're in data, you know what I
Yeah,
mean.
yeah, yeah.
So I was like, okay, I've landed this first job. The reason why I was looking for another was the fact that okay, I wanted something a little on document and requirements. I didn't want anything too techy. I wanted something
Mm,
a little soft. I didn't want to write code. I feel all of that
mm,
was just too much. So I wanted the soft landing. So I was like, oh, why not take the business analysis training and start looking for a business analysis role and see, okay, let's see how that goes. Because I've been reading about it and that's what my other sister does and she talks about it. So I know it's more, yes, they have a bit of tech, but it's not like data. So it's more of
mm.
requirements, documentations, and all of that. So I was like, why not go for the training? So I went for the training. I'm like, okay, this is the right time. Let's go back to Formula A.
Wow.
Because I knew I wasn't going to relent. This has worked before. It's going to work again, definitely. So I started pushing.
Wow. Wow. So
Yeah.
after the 3 month training, I know a lot of people used to do
Okay.
this training, boot camp and the like, and they were just like, oh, call one call. They did teach us a lot. It's just something
True.
small. Were you still doing some
True.
homework on yourself, or how did you actually scale through
Definitely.
getting into the first job?
Like I'll say, I usually tell people this. Training most times gives you the platform. Probably they'll arrange your CV and all of that to land an interview. But training does not guarantee you the job. You need to do your own
Mm,
job. Like I said, I
mm,
did the training with some other people. They backed out at the end of the day. They were like, "Oh, I can't do this." I had to read on my own, answer
mm,
interview questions. Do my husband is always like a panel. There's a panel. That's my husband and the mirror.
mm,
He keeps
mm,
asking questions, and I keep answering. And I also went further to Google, start checking for interview questions. I read more. When I get the role, when I get an interview, what I do is for the job description, I make sure I understand everything that is needed. Even if I've not done it before, I need to read. I need to understand it. That's what most people don't know, because when you have an interview and they ask you, okay, it's in the job description, oh, do you have an idea about this? And you're like, oh, no, or no,
mm,
not really. Or you say, okay,
mm,
yes. And they're like, can you tell us a bit about it? And you're like, and what you're saying is not really telling. They'll be like, oh,
mm,
this person doesn't know what you're doing. So for me, when I get a job interview, I go to the description. I dwell into the description. I make sure I understand every single line there, because I it's from experience. Because
mm,
when I started out as an amateur, I don't go to the job description at all. There are some things they'll ask, oh, okay, what experience do you have on this? And in my mind, I'll be
mm,
like, oh, I don't have an experience. Or
mm,
most times I say, oh, I don't have an experience. And when they ask me, because I've not read
mm,
about it, I just end up saying jargons. But what I do now, what I advise people, if you have an interview, that description is very important. Make sure you understand, even if you don't, it's not on your CV and there's a requirement, something they need there. Even if they're saying, oh, this is required, non-essential, please read
mm,
it. Make sure you understand it. So when you're talking, because it's required, even if it's not essential, as long as it's required, you need to know it to the fullest. I think those are the things that have helped me. I don't play with it. When I have an interview, I don't play with the description. I make sure I read it, understand it true and true.
when you start a new job like that, and
Yes,
you they assume you have the experience for them to even
true,
give you the job. So
true.
you have learned with the boot camp and you're that good, and like, how did you actually fit in into
Yeah,
those
like
job roles later?
the first job I got was a contract role. And for contract role, nobody's training you. If you're permanent staff, they're going to train you. For
Yeah.
contract staffs, they want results ASAP, because they assume you're a professional, you know what you're doing. If you're like a full staff, they might take like a month to train
Mm,
you. So this is where my husband comes in. My husband has been in the
mm,
professional world for a while.
mm, mm.
So I had to go to him. Like, it was there. It was there because I was like a newbie, but nobody knows I'm a newbie. So I had to come out with the confidence. But inside,
As
I
somebody
know
said, you fake
I know
it
I'm
until
learning.
you make it. You
Not
fake
me.
it until
I
you make
know
it.
I know I'm learning. Although when I started, they actually connected me to someone. She's a conscious staff as well. Thank God she's Nigerian. Told me, thank you so much. God
Oh,
bless you.
wow.
Told me it's so helpful. She'll be like, Taiwo, if you need anything, please don't be shy. I'm here to help you. If you need anything, I know how tricky this job is and all of that. Tiwa Tiwa, she was like, Tiwa Tiwa, we're one. That's what she means. Like, you
Wow.
don't
God
need to be
bless her.
shy and all of that. Yeah, told me she's very great. God bless you wherever you are, told me. So
Mm,
she said, you can come to me. So she was, for the fact that she was Nigerian, she understood the
mm,
struggle. So there were
mm,
so many things I didn't know. But she didn't, when I have a task or the line manager sent something and she's like, oh, Ty will do this and do that. I'm chatting to me up immediately. To me, this is the
mm,
task. I really don't understand. How does this work?
mm,
I've been on Google and all of
mm,
that. And she'll be like, oh,
mm.
Taiwo, don't worry. And for some other things as well, my husband has been so helpful.
Well done, Taiwo. Thank you so much. Then, which
Yeah,
other
thank
challenge did you
you.
actually face with this getting that first? Because it's actually that first job that is the cocoa.
Yes,
After you
yes,
immediately you enter into it, you will be
yeah.
fine. Just but although some people have been having the first job, because I've heard a lot of people that have had the first job and
Okay.
during probation they were thrown out.
Yeah, true.
I don't know if you have heard about
True.
such.
Yes, I
How do
have.
you think people can face such challenges of not being thrown out? Because you actually came in like you know that you are a novice, but
You
you
don't know,
have
you
to
feel you're
just do
good
it
enough.
well and
Yeah.
fake it till you make it, kind of. And some people get thrown out on the way. How do you think
Yeah, true.
they could have? done it better.
Another thing that works, let's say you don't have a support system, you don't have anyone to go to. For me, I had a support system. But still, I think if you don't understand something at work, asking for clarity is not bad. Go back to your line manager. Oh, this task has been sent across. I really don't understand it. I mean, nobody's going to flog you, or nobody's going to query you and say, oh, she doesn't know what she's doing. I think it's better for you to ask for clarity. If you don't
Yes.
understand, don't assume.
Don't
Because most
assume.
times when you're assuming, probably there's a deadline for whatever you're working on. After your assumption, then you come back and the line manager will be like, oh, if you know you didn't understand this, you should have
When
spoken
you to
up.
ask,
I know that
shout
has been
out.
here. Yeah, just
Yeah.
shout out. And for
Hmm.
me, I think I'm so lucky to have my line manager is very okay. She'll tell you if you don't understand. Most of us here, we started from somewhere. So if you don't
Hmm.
understand something,
Hmm.
please don't assume. I'd rather you come to me and you're like, oh, I don't understand this. I could, or you reach out to your colleagues. I know a lot of us are like scared of letting our white colleagues in quotes to know
No.
our
Hmm.
weakness. Yes.
Yeah,
Nobody
yeah,
wants
yeah.
anybody to know their weakness so they don't use it against you. Yes, I understand that. But there are ways to go around these things. You might do your own homework, like do something
Do
so they see
something.
you. Yes,
Yeah.
you've done something.
Yeah. Do
Don't just
something.
go to them like a novice. You don't look dumb and all of that. So it's like it's more or
Hmm.
less like they're spoon feeding you. So they don't like that. They like to hear
Yeah.
from you. They like even if it's
Yeah.
rubbish, come on, just do something. Don't go and be like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't understand this. So when you're going all the time like that, the person will be like, then they start suspecting that I don't think this person knows what she's doing. I don't think this person knows. But if you've done something and when they're talking, you're contributing, believe you me, you don't
Hmm.
need to know everything. Just have an idea.
Hmm. Thank you
See?
so much, Taiwo. Thank you so much. We have nailed so many things. What's your last word for anybody?
I think the first thing, if you're transitioning, if you want to transition, is interest. Believe you me, it's not easy because you're starting from the scratch and
Hmm.
you're competing with those that have been there.
Hmm.
So that means you need to double
Hmm.
your odds. You need to learn. You need to research. Don't skip the training part. I've seen a lot of people, they'll be like, oh, I'll just go to YouTube. Yes, you can do your CV and all of that, and your CV looks nice. They will call you, but what guarantees you the job is what you're going there
Hmm.
to say. So you just
Hmm.
need to upgrade, learn if you need to learn. A lot of people are like, I can't pay £500 for
Hmm.
training.
Hmm.
I can't pay
Yeah.
£300. It's a waste of money. I can't do this. Believe you me, if you need to spend that money to make money. Spend
That
it
is
because you
it.
make money.
That is
Spend
it.
it. You need to be trained. You need to have the skills. Because if you're doing
And
interviews and you don't have it, believe you me, they know. They know when you're saying rubbish. Don't say I will just go there
yeah,
and with my
yeah, yeah,
confidence
yeah.
and plan. They know when you're not saying the
Yeah.
right thing. So they
Mm,
look at
mm,
all of these things. So upgrade. You need to upgrade. Consistency is key. Believe you me,
mm,
unfortunate mails will come. It is part of the process. I usually tell
mm,
people when you get those mails, just keep it aside and just take it. You can delete if you're not comfortable. You don't want to keep it, you don't want it to be piled up in your mail. Delete them and keep going. It will keep coming. But once that one job comes, you forget about all the unfortunate mail.
mhm,
You
mm,
totally forget about all of those times that you usually send. Once that one job that is a perfect fit, once it comes, every other thing. So consistency. Consistency is key
mm.
in this journey. And you remember that there are a lot of people, we are blacks. Like my husband usually say, we are blacks. That is already a disadvantage to begin with.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, yeah,
If that's the right word, is it a disadvantage or that's it's more or less like
it's
we're black,
one of
so
the
the
factors.
opportunity is one opportunity less. Yes, yes, if,
Yeah,
that, if that's the right word. So because you're black, you need to do more. I remember the first interview I went for. Sorry, I'm dragging us back. It was at JP Morgan, and I was the only black
that's fine.
person. And I even looked at what I was wearing. Apology. I don't even know why I dressed that way. I was wearing a we just came into the country. I was wearing a very funny shirt and a very funny skirt. And I was looking at people that were coming from the interview. They were wearing their suits. They look so good.
Are you
So another
serious?
thing I want to say to people is look the part, please. Because I wasn't,
Mm,
before I was being interviewed that day, I just knew. I looked at everybody. I was the only black. We were like five. I was the only black and I was poorly dressed. Not like everybody know I'm a big dresser, but that day I just decided to tone it down. I was just wearing a shirt and just a simple skirt and a simple heel. But the way I saw the other lady, her hair, started with her hair, her shoes, the brooch, and everything, I was like, oh
all
my
I was
God,
put you down
Taiwo.
already.
And I was already discouraged. That's the truth. And I was the only black among them. So I was like, God, will I get this job? So that actually dampened my confidence. So when I got in, I was not flowing as much. So you also need to look the
Wow.
part. You need to look
Mm,
the part. Yeah, it's
mm.
very important.
some people do this boot camp and they
Yeah.
used to say that, oh, if I do the boot camp this month and do 3 months and I finish this month, is it sure that I will get job within the next 2 months? And I keep telling them
No, there's no
no.
guarantee. You still need
There's no
to do more
guarantee.
work on yourself. No
Yeah.
guarantee. Boot camp is
You need
good, but you still need to do the job.
to still do more
Or you
work.
did the work, you need to go back more work. You need to learn, you need to study, you need to understand. You know, when you're doing the boot camp there, everything is just coming, it's not settling in.
Mm,
So they need you
mm.
need that time to sit down to understand. Okay, do
And
I
carry
want
it
to be a
again.
project manager? Do
Mm,
I want to be a business analyst? Do I want to be a scrum master? You need to understand it. Go back and just soak it in. Soak it in so that when you're talking in an interview, they can tell that, okay, this is part of you. They can easily tell if this is not what you're doing, you're just trying to look the part. So you soak it in that even when they wake you up, they're asking a question, you just give the
mm,
answer.
mm,
So
mm.
boot camp is good, but you also need to do the work.
Thank you so much. Thank you. If you are yet to subscribe, guys, please subscribe. Subscribe. Thank you, Taiwo. Hope when I call you another time, you will surely call.
Definitely, definitely.
So
No
much. Thank
worries.
you.